Batman. I would be saying Batman.
Yeah, I know it's Batman.
Batman Boxing Talk. We back. And today we are here to, since we call ourselves the Unbiased Channel, we are here to confess our wrong. Because we all picked Wilder.
Why?
In that fight. I'm not saying why. I told y'all in that video why I picked Wilder.
Yep.
My heart lies with Wilder.
Exactly. I said that I was going with Wilder, and I said that's what I was going to stick with. I'm going with Wilder, and I went with him, and I was wrong.
I was right. Because even in being wrong, I got the best fight that I've seen in a long time. Okay. So I was right. These motherfuckers was wrong.
So we got the wrong. You got the best fight. We all got the best damn fight. But we wrong.
It was action packed. It was action packed.
Yeah. So let me. I guess I'm the host.
Yeah.
But I got some questions for y'all.
All right.
So how did y'all feel about how Wilder initially came out and started the fight?
You want to go or I go?
Well, I mean, I saw the jabs to the body and I saw straight right hands to the body. So initially I was like, okay, that's good. But I mean, once the third round started, Fury landed a shot. The first time I seen Fury swinging at him and that head went back like this,
back to it.
Instead of ducking, I said, fight's over. I called it in the third round.
Yeah, me. I thought that he came out and we just in the text that I love what he was doing, but he was too fast.
Yeah. Too
much. And I mean, you could just see like you ain't gonna be able to keep this pace up. But hopefully I was thinking that he would get him out of there before he would really gas. But like you said, when you start seeing the leaning straight back, but that's going back to, like what you do.
Right.
Not, what you trained on, over these last few weeks. It's going by, like you said, when you get in the thick of it, like one thing you said, Brandon, was like, I want to see what Wilder does, like you said, basically when he get hit in the mouth. Right. Is he going to start sitting there pushing his gloves and like you said, and then going back to what he's doing?
And for me, it wasn't even just when he got hit. It was more so once the freshness is gone and now you're tired, do you revert back to? Because sometimes, even if he didn't get hit, I still kind of felt like, and all of us do it. When you doing a workout, your first 2 or 3 reps be perfect, but then when you get to 15 and 16, your form started to change because you're fatigued. So I just wanted to see even if it wasn't that him getting punched in the mouth was going to make him revert back. Even if it was the fatigue that was, and I think it was both. I think it was the fatigue, and I think it was when Fury was able to get up to him, catch up to him in the third round.
One advantage that I think we'd always said about Deontay Wilder was stamina. That he would have with most heavyweights, because of his size, he had stamina over most of these guys. So I think one thing that hurt him was all that weight he put on in both fights.
I'm not going to say that. I think it was the fact that normally he's able to dictate pace even when he's losing, because people are so, I don't know if they still are. I wouldn't test it. But I think fighters in the past were so weary of getting hit with something that even in not throwing a lot of punches, he was kind of able to control the pace. So he never got gassed in any of those other fights.
Well, let me ask you this too, though. With that size, one thing that he could do was he was fast. His feet were much faster at 212 than they were at 231 or 238, which is why he probably was getting hit more in these 2 fights, because he couldn't move like he would have, as he was lighter.
I mean, that's true. I would say that. But Deontay Wilder showed extreme heart and guts in that fight, and so did Tyson Fury. I'm not going to I mean, both of them. I mean, it was an amazing fight, because I actually thought, like I said, when he went down in the third round, I said, fight's over. That's what I said. But, and I mean, I think that one of the reasons why Tyson Fury got hit in court is because he thought the fight was over too.
Yeah.
Going after Wilder like that, and Wilder, I mean, because it never looked like it seemed similar to like when he got hit in the back of the head, and after that first knockdown, which I didn't see it was like that powerful of a punch, but the way he went down and got up, like I was like, oh damn, you hurt.
Yeah, but it's
like,
the equilibrium.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
It's
and
almost,
it was bleeding again. So I don't know what's going on with
that equilibrium shot is almost like it don't take a lot.
That's true.
You know, it's almost like when you hit your elbow. You don't have to hit your elbow hard for that funny bone. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I just think that Fury understands what Wilder's weakness is, and it's the side of his head. And if you notice, a lot of the times Fury was throwing the left hooks to sweep down the hands, and he was coming back with the looping right on that same side of his head. And like I said, the fact that Wilder was even able to muster up that right hand that caused the earthquake in Fury's body, man,
because his whole body shook
was crazy. Yeah. But I just appreciate them guys for getting in there and putting it on the line, because that's probably the most exciting fight I've seen since maybe Earl versus Sean.
Well, the other thing
Anthony Joshua versus Klitschko, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the thing that we don't look at though is the fact that Deontay Wilder is 35 years old.
I don't think that had nothing to do with it, because guess what? If he get in there with heavyweights 3-4 fights down the line and it stretch them out, you can't say it's his age.
Well, I'll say this.
Power's the last thing to leave.
Yeah, and that's what he had.
I'll say this. I don't want Deontay Wilder to go out with these two fights. I would like to see him fight again. And I've heard comments that, because Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder, who doesn't have any skill, because that's now one of the narratives going around again.
It's been a narrative for me.
That Tyson Fury would lose to someone like a Dillian White. Whoever thinks that shit, you need to really relearn boxing, because Dillian White, I'd give him a 5% chance of beating Tyson Fury. I don't even know if I give him 5.
Tyson Fury or Wilder?
No, actually both of them. I give him a 5. I don't think Dillian White, because again, Deontay Wilder weakness is Tyson Fury, but I think he stretches Dillian White.
I do too.
Yeah, I
do too.
The one thing that Deontay Wilder has had over all of those opponents, which got over his lack of, technical skill, was his height. And yes, and like you said, also Alan, with him being light on his feet, when he's a little lighter, he could get back. You know what I'm saying? And he saw things, but
he could get back in this fight too. It's just that the distance that he needed to get back was different.
Right. This right here works against shorter fighters.
Right.
If you're talking,
the George Foreman,
the joint like this, that works. But when somebody's taller than you and they got the reach, just like Lennox Lewis knocked out Rockman. Rockman's corner told him to throw your hands up like this to block it. You can't do that. Yeah. Lennox Lewis taller, came right over the top. Pop, knocked him out. Dillian White, I don't think he beats Tyson Fury. I mean, I know y'all trying to go on to the skill set thing. Okay, you beat an old Klitschko 40, but Klitschko hadn't been beat. I mean, he had the belt for a long time, and
a whole lot of years.
Yeah, and he said, and Klitschko did say, that Tyson Fury's height gave him a problem. He beat Deontay Wilder. You're gonna say he don't have any skills, but Deontay Wilder is like the hardest heavyweight puncher in history. What Tyson Fury does have is heart.
Yeah.
So you think that just because Dillian White has more skills, that if he caught Tyson Fury and knocked Tyson Fury down, he got up from Deontay Wilder's punch.
Yeah.
What do you think he does to Dillian White?
I don't know.
What do you think? I mean, what do you think? Look, Dillian White getting knocked out by who was that knocked him out? Povetkin hit hard though.
But it ain't Wilder.
Yeah, it ain't Wilder.
And
but what about that? I mean, I don't know if Dillian White survives those shots that Tyson Fury hit Deontay Wilder.
And I don't know that Tyson Fury, like I said about Shakur Stevenson, he has multiple ways to fight. Tyson Fury just showed us another way he can fight. Yeah. That crunk style, he's added to what he was already good at. You know what I'm saying? So Tyson Fury to me is one of those well-rounded fighters who's going to give anybody that steps in that ring with him trouble. No matter if it's Usyk, no matter if it's Wilder, no matter if it's Anthony Joshua, no matter if it's Dillian White. They get in there with Tyson Fury, they in for a long night. Because not only do he got skills, not only can he outbox, not only can he grind it out, not only can he lay on you, he got heart and determination and willpower. And he showed you that by getting off that fucking couch over 400 pounds or 300 pounds, whatever the fuck he was. And that motivation that Wilder talking that shit brought him back, and he beat Wilder ass twice, and some people say 3 times. So I mean, that motherfucker's gonna give anybody issues.
Yeah,
but how much time we got left? That's what I was trying to do. So we got 4 minutes. So we definitely we did this segment because I know we get on here and talk about how right we are too. So sometimes you got to get on here and say
how wrong you are
when you wrong too. So I know y'all gonna kill us in the comments, which is cool.
Yeah, but much respect to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder.
Yeah. Hell of a fight.
Matter of fact, any boxer that steps between those ropes, they get much respect, regardless of what I say, because you could do something.
Unless you get in there quick, or you walk out when the bell ring like Slim.
Or you pull an Oliver McCall and start crying.
Yeah. But so let's
you hit too hard.
Yeah. Let's so since this is our recap show. Yeah. Let's recap last week's
Shakur
Stevenson.
I'm gonna let you be last on this because you have been the Shakur Stevenson advocate.
I was wrong.
Said that, this is what he said from the beginning. I'm gonna say what Brandon said from the beginning. Before this Mel Herring fight, before anybody, he is the best out of all of the young guys. He said he's the most skilled and everything else out of all of the guys. He said that before this fight. So it's not him jumping on the bandwagon. I just want to give you those.
Even when they say he was born last fight.
Exactly. Still,
I knew he possessed.
But go ahead, Alan.
No, I gave Jamel Herring a chance because I said, well, when Jamel Herring said, I know that I can't outbox him, I'm going to have to outdog him, I figured he would come in there not reckless, but a lot more aggressive than he did. And I mean, Shakur Stevenson just beat him at both games. I mean, basically, I saw Shakur Stevenson basically just beat him out of that. And I guess after about the 5th, 6th round, it just became an ass whooping.
Yeah. After the second round.
I think it was after the second round, basically.
Yeah. Might be after the first round, he stopped beating his ass in the first round.
When Shakur started looking in the crowd,
yeah,
I think I don't know if he was looking at Terrence. Yeah, talking to Bud, like, you know, this what y'all talking about. This motherfucker here.
But I'll say this:
he whooped.
I watched a lot of Jamel Herring fights these last couple of weeks leading up to that fight, and Herring's good, but then they're special. And I had to admit to him that I saw specials last Saturday. I won't say that Shakur Stevenson's the best down at under 140, because until I see a step up in competition or him fight somebody else who is special, which we might get him and Lomachenko, then
I hope
that would say more to me. But as far as that fight, he beat the shit out of Herring.
Go ahead.
I mean, he looked special. He did look like a special fighter Saturday.
I think that Shakur Stevenson, like I said, I think that he did great. I think he was sharp. Like I said, I think that a lot, with me, you have a disagreement. I'm not going to say that he didn't look special, because he did look special. But it is that, like, I think that everybody would have did that to Jamel Herring, and like you said, Alan. But, like you said, in the manner in which he did it, Brandon, like you said, he beat him from the outside. He beat him on the inside. Yeah, they turned around and beat him on the inside. And I don't know if, like I said, I think Haney would have just boxed his goddamn socks off. He'd have beat on him, but I don't know if Haney would have stepped inside and beat him and take that away from him too. When he ain't really have to.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that's the thing.
But Haney would, because look, I mean, probably not now, because I think Haney would have tried it, but not now since what was. Linares hurt him when he tried to step inside and basically try to get a person out of there. And but Shakur is special, and what he did, I mean, as far as all the step up fights that you talking about with like when T.O. first stepped up against the tall
Nakatani.
Yeah, Nakatani looked terrible. Haney looked great against Linares, but he got clipped. Mm-hmm. Shakur step up, no problems. It was smooth sailing.
Yeah, but then watch this.
Even Chris Colbert
he had problems with King Tucker.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then you look at, you say T.O. had a step up with Nakatani, looked terrible. Mm-hmm. Next fight, Richard Comey looked sensational.
Yeah, he did.
Next fight, Lomachenko looked sensational up until
Lomachenko decided I have to fight.
I think it was him deciding I have to fight, and also fatigue on T.O.'s part that gave him the confidence. Okay, now is the time.
Yeah, but I think that's what they was banking on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but 7 rounds.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, you can't do that.
Sheesh.
Keep going.
But yeah. But I think, like I said, like he said, I've been saying I think Shakur reminds me the most of Floyd Mayweather than anybody. I hear the Devin Haney Floyd Mayweather comparisons. I hear what's my man that the other guy that they say is maybe it's just Devin and Shakur that they give the Floyd Mayweather comparisons to. But for me, I see more Ray Leonard and Devin Haney than I do Floyd. When I look at Shakur, I see more of a Floyd.
What did you say? You see more Ray Leonard?
I'm talking about mannerisms. I'm not saying Devin Haney is as good as Sugar Ray. I'm talking about his mannerisms. If you look at his length, how long he is, how wiry he is, he gives you Sugar Ray Leonard, the quickness, the speed, the foot, the feet, the quick shift. He gives you Ray Leonard. Whereas when I look at Shakur, I see a more of Floyd in Shakur than I do in Devin Haney. Maybe I'm not explaining it the way that I need to.
Because Shakur says that he sees, in itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Floyd and Ray.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he is a mixture of both. Because Ray and Floyd both had the ability to, box you from the outside and get inside and get down and dirty.
Both good and fighters.
And both of them were good in fighters. So I think that Shakur shows, like you said, but with the ability, like you said, Ray is basically like always moving, so that it is like
right. It's like
whereas
Floyd is more flat-footed and he more here, and he doesn't move as much as Ray Leonard.
Yeah, exactly. And
so
Shakur
that's why
is that way too.
Right.
With the,
Well, I'll say this.
and his perception of range is ridiculous, isn't it? Like how you step just within range, so you could and then just step back.
Mm-hmm.
Shot
half a step back.
Yep, just that half a step back. That
he's a complete. He's probably one. As you look at all the other guys, Ryan Garcia, you see weaknesses. You see weaknesses with Devin Haney.
Yeah.
You gotta be tall enough to
Lopez.
exploit them weaknesses with Ryan Garcia.
You see weaknesses with all of them, and right now, Shakur Stevenson looks like the more complete fighter at this point.
I'm sorry, I left him out too. Ryan Garcia, when he
left himself out.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about when he stepped up, he got dropped.
But you see what he did.
Oh yeah, that Canelo training.
Yeah.
That body shot.
Don't talk about him because you know we'll be on this motherfucker all day.
No, that's for another video.
But yeah, and speaking of special, and I may be a little too early, but this how I was with Shakur. Xander Zayas, the Puerto Rican kid, on the undercard of the Shakur Stevenson fight.
You think that's special? You see special?
Who's the trainer?
I don't know.
I mean,
when I started watching it, he was already fighting. So when I was, man, I'm trying to tell y'all. And he won 54. So Harrison, and y'all know how I love Tony Harrison, y'all motherfuckers better do something because when him and the Tower Inferno, they coming. They not here to play.
Oh, don't forget about Young Holyfield.
I have to see more.
I haven't seen fight.
Him and Ali's grandson, I have to see more.
Well, look, Ali's grandson didn't really win me over, but I mean he did good.
But but see you see the difference? That to me, that's special. When I watch a motherfucker one time and I'm telling you, and then I watch Holyfield 2 or 3 times and I'm telling you I still gotta see more. That motherfucker. Yeah,
but this is the thing with me, Brandon. It was probably clouded by because you probably watched it like without the commentary, so you was watching.
I always do.
You was watching everything he did.
Yeah.
The commentary actually turned me off with him. He was doing some special things, but they were highlighting it so much.
Right. Ali's grandson?
No,
Xander.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't know.
Every little thing that he did, right? Oh, you know this and all that, and I'm like, it's not like you said when like I'm watching him. I didn't see who get ready to fight like Boots. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I saw that he is very technically sound and he's good. He's gonna be a problem.
I'll tell you what. Go watch it again. Turn the commentary down and go watch it again.
I mean, I watched it twice because I watched it again on the because it's on ESPN Plus.
But man, yeah. So that we just wanted to get on here and
recap.
And give y'all a recap of the last couple fights because it's been a little hassle trying to get together, but we made it happen. So definitely wanted to get on here and say we were wrong because we definitely gonna get on here and say when we right because I know I am. But Batman boxing talk, man.
Batman boxing talk.
Yeah, you keep letting me say it, and you keep letting me say it too.
Batman boxing talk.
Batman.
Yeah. That right. We out.